Let's just go to our audience here, because they are the important ones. I hope we've helped you out a bit there, but I'd just like to conduct a straw poll amongst our audience here, using your hands as opposed to straws. If you would just put your hand up now, who would be happy to carry condoms in the future? Boys and girls? Hands up. Right. Boys and girls, who'd be happy to carry them in the future? OK, let me just come down here, because I can see some hands up over here. You would not be happy at all?
No, not at all.
Why not?
Well, it would be as if you were going out just to have sex. I mean, why bother going for a drink? Why not just go to bed? I mean...
Yeah, but you're not going to walk out with it and walk into the pub and go, "Hey, boys."
The thing is, though, you're going out with the intention of having sex. It doesn't matter who you meet, or perhaps it does, but you're looking for somebody to have sex with. That's the reason that you've gone out. That's what it would look like to me, and I'm sure.
Right. What do you feel about that?
I'm sure that I'll keep them indoors, yeah. But I wouldn't take them out with me. No, but I'll keep them indoors.
But if you went back to his place, you wouldn't have one with you?
I would hope that he'd have some.
So you put the responsibility most definitely with the boy?
I do, yeah.
Right. Who would carry, out of the girls here, who would carry? You would?
Yes.
And have you changed your mind this evening, or you just generally
No,
do
I
anything?
thought about it before. Because I take responsibility for my contraception, and I don't see really any material difference between that and safeguarding my health via a condom.
So you wouldn't agree with that point about you're just going out looking for sex?
No, because, I mean, if one takes the pill, one's being calculated about it. So therefore, taking a packet of condoms with you is exactly the same thing.
Right. Marcel, let me just come to you, because you were the one who said that girls should carry the condoms. It does appear quite a few here don't want to carry them.
It's an attitude I can't really understand, because you can't suddenly... If you can deceive who you want in the world about whether you flick people or not, but I think self-deception, I mean, that's a real killer. That's real dumb bunny stuff. You know, oh, gosh, I just happened to find myself having sex. Gosh! I mean, you know whether you're the kind of person who's going to have sex. And I think it's... Somebody's got to take responsibility here, and I'm stunned and really rather upset that you feel...
Me personally, I wouldn't
But I'm
sleep
stunned
around,
about...
so I wouldn't take
Oh, well, if
them
you
with
don't
me.
sleep around...
No, that's just...
Well,
me.
then that's another issue,
Right.
perhaps.
It's a personal viewpoint.
That's a personal viewpoint.
But let's go to the boys, because boys... let me just ask anybody here, if you discovered a girl that you met, if you discovered a girl that you met was carrying condoms in her handbag, what would you think of her?
I wouldn't think that was bad, really.
No?
No, not at all.
Would anybody think that was bad amongst the males here?
No, not at all.
You wouldn't?
No.
So I mean, I like that attitude, but how many of you carry condoms when you go out?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
You do? What,
Yeah.
every time you go out, or...?
Yeah, I've got one in my wallet.
OK. Well, no,
No, the
that's-
reason... No, I'll come back to the point that the girl made down the front. She said, I find that you're looking after your health. When you cross the road, you look both ways to make sure you don't get run down. If you take a condom with you, you're not only protecting the girl's health, you're protecting your own.
Fair point, fair point. Let me just now ask another question here of our audience, and just sum up there. I mean, it seems there's some mixed views on whether condoms should be carried, whether the girls should carry them, whether the boys should carry them. There are some boys who appear to go out there carrying condoms with them, and we saw some girls there who would do it. But are you persuaded by our experts here this evening that condoms don't have to be passion killers? Now, can we take a little vote on that? Hands up. Who's been persuaded by our experts' arguments that condoms don't have to be passion killers? Hands up. Not too many at all. What about down here? Nobody's been persuaded at all by that argument. Let me just come to you down here. You think they are passion killers?
They can be, yeah. I suppose if you used it as he said, maybe they're not. But when I've used them before, they've been a bit of a passion killer.
What about you?
Yeah, you have to keep running out and stopping and things.
You just keep running out and stopping?
Yeah, you lose the moment. You lose the moment, the intimate moment that you're supposed to be trying to get when you have an interval, so...
Right, and you?
Well, I think they are... Yeah, like you said, it's a spur-of-the-moment thing, and these people have been talking. I mean, that's the first time I've seen it on telly, someone describing something like that. And you're talking about young people, and young people, I mean, if you meet a girl you're both young, you don't do things like that, really, unless you know someone intimately.
Mm-hmm.
You don't use the girl and the guy, they don't put it on together.
Well, next time.
Well, next time, yeah, next time.
But you never use a condom?
Well, I do. I have in the past, but I find them uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable?
Yeah, uncomfortable.
In what respect?
Well, it doesn't feel natural.
Well, it appears that we do have a long way to go. From what our audience is saying, these things are still passion killers. We've got to know it a little bit better this evening. And certainly, there's no doubt at all that condoms make sex safer. But they don't make it absolutely safe. And some people will never overcome the embarrassment that they cause. So we shouldn't only think about making sex safer, we should also think about having less sex. Now, for many of us, that could be tough. We'll be back in a moment.
I've just seen Viscount Whitelaw. Now, what have you two done? Out with it!
All we did was put a condom on our willy, PM.
Watch part 3 to find out why true romance is such a wonderful thing. Will you two stop sniggering?
Margaret, don't do anything hasty.
Welcome back. The more people you sleep with, the more chance you run of bumping into someone with the AIDS virus. So if you sleep with fewer people, you'll run less risk. It is as simple as that. Well, in the past, plenty of people managed with only one partner all their life. But can today's young people do the same? Emma Freud reports.
You want to go out for a laugh, and as far as I'm concerned, the laugh isn't just a drink with your mates, although that is part of the laugh. The other part of the laugh is trying to pull. And you don't just pull and sit down and talk. You aim. You don't go up to a girl. If you like a girl, you don't say to her, I wouldn't mind dancing with her. You say, I wouldn't mind getting her in bed.
That kind of attitude to sex seems to be pretty common among young men. In our research, most of the boys we talked to said they wanted to bed as many girls as possible. Girls are used to trying to fend them off. Model Linda Lusardi.
I've been tricked a few times, you know, where I've been taken to the pictures and they pretend the car's broken down and, oh, come back to my mum's, you know, and I'll call you a taxi, and then when you get back to his house, his mum's on holiday and the taxi takes 3 hours to come. But I've never sort of succumbed to those kind of men.
There are good reasons why boys are the way they are, and some of them are very deeply rooted.
Men are exposed to a hormone called testosterone, and that gives the male much more drive, and it alters the whole reproductive system as well as the brain. So that the idea of young men is they've got infinite numbers almost of sperm, and they want to spread it to the next generation. So it's in the biological interest to spread it, to have intercourse with as many partners as possible.
On top of biology come other pressures. Magazines, advertising, films and rock music all encourage young men to become studs. But is the AIDS threat making boys change their ways?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I do exactly the same as I used to do. I try and pull a bird and I have sex with her. Just because this AIDS thing hasn't changed my way, my attitude or anything.
I'm not going to ruin my social life just because of this. They've blown it up. They've made a big thing about it, and it's not as big as it sounds, and it's just pathetic.
It doesn't change my behaviour. It's from time to time it crosses your mind, but it doesn't change how I react.
In fact, we found the boys we talked to quite determined to carry on as before. They seemed to regard AIDS as a risk they were prepared to accept, like the risk of death on the roads. But girls have always had a different attitude towards sex. Here's Siobhan from Bananarama.
For a start, they've got too much self-respect to just lunge at sex, just to boast that they've had sex. But they're much more interested in having sex in the context of a relationship anyway, and that's always been the case as far as I remember. There's very few girls who are sort of, you know, randy, like that. I mean, you know.
Girls have always been more interested in romance than in sex. Most of them seem to prefer steady relationships to one-night stands. But of course, this doesn't make them safe from AIDS.
The facts of the matter are that you only ever had to go to bed with one man to get pregnant. You only ever had to go to bed with one man to get venereal disease. I have met a beautiful 21-year-old who has AIDS. She's going to die. She was virus positive for 10 months, and it has now been confirmed that she has developed AIDS. She slept with 2 men in her life. That seems to me to be exactly the kind of illustration you have to have in the forefront of your mind.
Many girls have already understood the dangers posed by AIDS, and unlike most of the boys we talk to, they've also become frightened.
I mean, I'm really scared. I'm really scared because I don't know where my ex-boyfriend has been in the past 8 years, and I don't know where my new boyfriend's been in the past 8 years. And that apparently is the length of the incubation period they suspect now. It's really frightening. I mean, it's nothing to do with my habits, but I could be a carrier as we speak, which is terrifying.
Some young women are now so frightened of AIDS that they're thinking about changing their behaviour. Total celibacy, that is, no sex at all, is becoming fashionable in some quarters, while young women who have steady relationships are encouraging other girls to follow suit. Page 3 girl Suzanne Mitzi has had a steady boyfriend for several years.
We enjoy each other's company and we enjoy making love with each other. And I don't think, I never think, oh God, I'd like to try something different. No, I think if you get on with each other and you're good partners, you know.
Shirley of chart-busting Pepsi and Shirley is another young woman who thinks one man's enough for any girl.
There's no really reason to sleep with others. I mean, everybody's got the same body. It's not as if you're going to find something different on another man. Well, then again, you might do. Then yeah, it's just curiosity. But if you can overcome that with a strong relationship, there's absolutely no need to think you have to sleep with lots of people. Because I actually think if you stay with one person longer, you'll learn more from one person because it becomes open and honest.
What all this seems to mean is this. If young people are going to have fewer partners, it won't be the boys who give a lead. It'll be down to the girls to tell boys so far and no further, just like our grandmothers did before the pill. Are girls going to do this? There are those who think they may.
You now have a situation where there is a disease which has developed, which kills people through sexual contact. It seems to me that that is going to cause us all to reevaluate, not what has happened, because that's done, but what is going to happen. That's what's coming.